was actually concerned whether it was going to start up, just given it sat outside in almost freezing temperature. So the plan today is to travel westbound. First stop is going to be Selma, Alabama. I'm planning to also visit the Edmund Pettus Bridge and a few other civil rights related landmarks, monuments, etc. From Selma, I will head or west rather to Meridian, Mississippi, expecting the weather to cooperate as well. It started out as cloudy. I expected it to be a shorter day than yesterday, roughly 400 miles or so, and I will gain an hour going there.
I'm just making my way out of Warner Robbins. Warner Robbins is among the top 10 largest cities in Georgia. Claim to fame is the namesake Warner Robbins Air Force Base. It brought in about $3.5 to $4 billion to the local economy. We are expecting about a 3.5 hour ride with stops and everything else in between. I suspect it will end up being about 4.5 hours.
Can't quite tell what kind of trees these are, but it is amazingly calming and soothing to the eye. The other thing is that the wind is almost non-existent. Yesterday it was killing me on the way back from Tybee Island. Fantastic landscapes that look like Microsoft screensavers and backgrounds continue to roll one after the other. Oh wow, look at that sea of pink on the left hand side over there.
Of Reynolds, Georgia. Pecan or chestnut plantation. And guess what? Speaking of blooms, look at that. We have just entered the limits, Geneva, Georgia. I wasn't sure that we were actually making an international trip. This is a manufacturing plant for Pratt & Whitney engines. Looks like we are passing through the town of Midland, Georgia, and that's where the Pratt & Whitney plant was that we saw earlier. So far so good, making good time, the weather's holding up. It's 47 degrees, but feels nicer than that. Passing by the town of Columbus, Georgia, and crossing over Chattahoochee River, and look at the size of that river. It's muddy and turbulent. Welcome to Alabama. We are going to take this exit as 280 west towards Opelika. Oh man, smells of burnt brakes. Probably from that truck up front there. Opelika, and then on our way towards Birmingham, Alabama.
The damn crosswinds have started again in full force. No amount of windshield positioning helps with these kind of side winds. So I guess I'm going to have to suck it up and soldier on.
Passing through the city of Opelika. Alright, I-85 South, here we come. We are in the city limits of Auburn, Alabama, the hometown of Auburn University.
Passing through Montgomery, Alabama.
Queen City of the Black Belt, historic Selma. Crossing over the Alabama River, entering Selma's city limits. Oh, this is the infamous Edmund Pettus Bridge. This is the bridge on which John Lewis and a lot of his supporters were brutally beaten on their way to a march related to voting rights. But there was a march about 3 days later and they ended up going all the way from Selma to Birmingham. And I think later that year or later next year, the Voting Rights Act was passed. And this is the coffee shop that Mo highly recommended. So I'm going to take Mo's advice and pay a visit to them.
After a great lunch at the coffee shop and a equally good mocha to boot, I am finally once again packed up. I did visit the Edmund Pettus Bridge, took some pictures and all that. The Alabama River is in quite a state of flood. And I'm not now going to take the scenic route to Meridian because it's roughly 1 o'clock, 1:30 here, Central Time. And the route to Meridian is about only an hour and 15 minutes or so. So I figured I'll take the scenic route. Just funny that the guy is walking around in an orange jumpsuit. It took me a second to look again and that it was not from the big house.
We are passing through a small town called Oroville, Alabama. Probably a one stoplight town. But again, that's what I get for choosing the scenic route. We are going through the town of Linden here. Bunch of roads intersecting here, there and everywhere, looks like it. Welcome to Mississippi. If you can see, this place is called Why Not Grocery. The reason I wanted to turn around was this really. Initially I thought it was just a joke, but this really is a town called Why Not.
We are now in Meridian City, Mississippi. Ended up checking into the Drury Inn tonight. Found a great spot for the motorcycle. About 350 miles for the night. Ended up at the local Applebee's for a scrumptious dinner.